العالمين نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه ومن اهتدى بهديه واستنى بسنته إلى يوم الدين أما بعد. First of all, let me try to get this internet connected. I was asked to speak about the beauty of Jannah. We have good news and we have bad news. Which do you want first? Bad news. Bad news, I haven't been to Jannah yet. But the good news is that our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam has described it to us. The unfortunate thing is that such a description by itself is not sufficient for us as humans, because the only mutual thing between the things in Jannah and the things we know of, the only mutual thing is the name. So Allah says in the hadith Al-Qudsi, I have prepared for my servants that which no eye has seen, no ear has heard of, no heart, or it did not cross the heart of a human being. And Allah and the Prophet said, and recite if you wish, no person knows what is kept hidden for them of joy as a reward for what they used to do. So when we describe the beauty of Jannah, it is nothing even close to reality. But it is something that would make us look forward, try to imagine, try to sense the beauty of Jannah. If we would like to describe Jannah from the outside, the premises as they call it, the property itself, well, for architects, it's soil, the buildings, the mud it is made of. The Prophet said, alayhi salatu wasalam, in an answer to a question, what is Jannah built of? The companions are asking. Now, if this question was inappropriate, the Prophet said, alayhi salatu, would have said, you should not ask such questions. You should just believe. If Jannah was metaphorical and not real, the Prophet would have said something down these lines. But this is not what the Prophet said, alayhi salatu wasalam. He addressed and answered the question by saying, it is a brick of silver and a brick of gold. So they alternate. The buildings, the mansions, the palaces, the walls, a brick of silver and a brick of gold. And the cement between them is made from musk. And this musk is so strong in smell and perfume that you cannot imagine. What about the pebbles on the ground that we step on? The pebbles are made of pearls and emeralds. And the soil, the sand, the mud, is made of saffron that has beautiful scent. What kind of premises is this? Do we need to clean it? Do we need to hoover it? Something that you live in this smell, beautiful smell, you don't have to add anything to it. Okay, but what about the buildings themselves? Well, the Prophet had told us about the rooms in Jannah. The rooms are mind-blowing. When I enter a room, I enter it to be concealed, to change my clothes, so that people would not see me. The rooms in Jannah, the Prophet said, alayhi salatu wasalam, the inside is seen from the outside, and the outside is seen from the inside. excuse me, I'd like to change. Then why do we have rooms? Akhi, each individual will be in his own quarters. There won't be people, perverts, like we have today, going from house to house in Jannah, looking and peeking and with the binoculars and trying to see you. This is not found in Jannah. Still, Sheikh, I'd like to have some privacy. You will have privacy because the closest neighbor of yours is like here in the sun. You are in total privacy. No one can see you. Besides, even the women in the homes, Allah described them that they lower their gaze and see only their husbands. And by default, the husbands will not go down to the market and try to pick up a random woman. There is chastity, there is love, there is privacy all over in paradise, something that you cannot imagine here. So these are the mansions or the rooms that the Prophet told us, alayhi salatu wasalam. The Prophet told us about the tents. Okay, if we have rooms and we have mansions, why would we have tents? Well, this is part of the bonus you will get. What about the tents? The tents, the Prophet tells us that it is 60 miles long, made of a hollow pearl. And in it, a Muslim believer, a man, has wives and families, no one can see one another. And here we get, the sister saying, what do you mean? Yes, a man has more than one wife in Jannah. Minimum is 2. The maximum, Allah knows. Sheikh, this is not fair. Seriously. We've been here on earth with this man who smells rotten, looks rotten, has a big belly, and his teeth are not fixed. His hair is Allahu A'lam. He earns little. He's bad attitude, abusive. He loves his mother more than me. And now you tell me in Jannah, I only get this thinking person? No, you will not get this thinking person. Definitely. You will get a brand new person. But he has the same name and he has the same past. Yet everything in him is changing. Yet, Sheikh, why have one man? Why can't we have more? Because women are made only to love one from Allah Azza wa Jalla. And they have the guarantee of Allah Azza wa Jalla to be happy, to be pleased, to be satisfied, and not to have envy, not to have hatred, and not to have grudges. Do you believe Allah? Then you will be more than happy. But men also will be happy, but no one will ever envy one another or feel depressed or feel sad. There are mansions, palaces. We know about the palace of Umar radiallahu anhu wa ardah. The Prophet saw in a vision a very beautiful palace and saw a woman, beautiful woman making wudu. So he asked, whose palace is this? And the angels told him, this is Umar's palace. So immediately he left. Umar said, why, O Prophet of Allah? He said, I remembered your jealousy, Umar. SubhanAllah, even in Jannah and in a vision. And Umar started to cry. Do I feel jealous of you, O Prophet of Allah? Allahumma salli wa sallam alayhi. Where are our men today? Where is their jealousy when they sit in their home and tell their wives, you go and work, you go and earn, and you go and spend on me? And for 10 years she does this. On the 11th year he gets married again. You are unable to support your own family and you go and marry again? You think you are a man? No, Allah, you're not a man. You might be a male, but definitely you're not a man. A gorilla is a male. So be careful. You have to have the jealousy of real men, to protect your women, to care for them, to provide for them, and to keep them in their homes, queens, undisputed. Now, we know that in Jannah, there is a tree. A rider takes how long? 100 years to cross the shade. 100 years, and I'm riding. If I'm walking, it may take me 700 years. So this is one tree. How big is Jannah? Allah tells us in the Quran that the width, not the length, the width of the Jannah is as big as the heavens and the earth. La ilaha illallah. But Sheikh, with all due respect, in Kano, I lose track. I don't know north from south. I seriously don't know anything in Kano. So how can I reach my home? Do I need a GPS? Google Maps? Say, take me to Paradise Home. 101. Is this like this? No. The Prophet ﷺ said to the companions, by Allah, by whose my soul is in his hand, you know your house in Jannah more than you know your house in dunya. In dunya, if I tell you go home, you go blindly. In Jannah, you know your home more than that. If you go inside the homes, what will there be? A living room, a bedroom, a terrace? What is it? Well, the Prophet described some of the furnitures in our homes. Allah described this in the Quran. فيها عين جارية فيها سرر مرفوعة وأكواب موضوعة ونمارق مصفوفة وزرابي مبثوثة. All of this we hear every Jumu'ah when the Imam recites Surah Al-Ghashiyah. So Allah Azza wa Jal told us that there will be beds, couches, carpets, different types of curtains, different types of things, pillows that you lean on, made of gold, silver, silk, pearls, things that you cannot imagine. Sometimes we are fortunate to enter the house of a multi-billionaire. And when you walk in, you feel, wow, what is this? Wallah, it's nothing. I was once invited to a palace. I never ever go to rich people's places because they don't invite me. Other than that, because I don't like going there, it makes my heart hard. Not that I'm impressed of it, but we went into this big house, mansion, driving over carpet. This is how filthy rich he is. He doesn't have marbles or cement or normal pavement. He has carpets for the car to drive over. And wallahi, I was not impressed. I was feeling sick. How many people with this feet? And this person is wasting it on showing off? SubhanAllah. When you go in your grave, will you tell them to put carpets inside as well? And maybe a split unit AC? Nothing. You will go to your grave like everyone else. You want to deprive me from this as well? It is not something that you will be deprived of. It is total enjoyment. It is enjoyment that has no end. The Prophet told us, alayhi salatu wasalam, that sleep is the brethren of death. And there is no death in Jannah. And likewise, there is no sleep. So you will keep on enjoying your whole life for 1,000 years? No. 1,000,000 years? No. 1,000,000,000,000 years? No. Till infinity. No end. See, even the microphone went off. There is no end for your enjoyment in Jannah. But Sheikh, there is no day, there is no night. And people, Shaitan comes to them and says, oh, that's boring. Boring? Stay here. I take this. I'm happy to take this. Akhi, there is nothing called boring in Jannah. There is no day and there is no night, but they can see light coming from the bottom of Arshul Rahmani Azza wa Jal to indicate that this is evening and this is morning. But it's all 24/7, 360 days all light. What is the color of paradise? If you come to Saudi, the color of Saudi is sand. It's all desert. If you go to Jannah, the color that dominates it is green. Why is that? Because the trees are everywhere. And they are green and sometimes a bit black. Because when the plantation is good, sometimes it's so good that it goes black because of the beauty of it. And this is why in Surah Al-Rahman, if you recite it, you would find that Allah says, وَمِن دُونِهِمَا جَنَّتَانِ فَبِأَيِّ آلَاءِ رَبِّكُمَا تُكَذِّبَانِ مُدَهَامَّتَانِ. Some of the interpreters of the tafsir said that it is green close to black. And this is because of the trees coming next to each other, so it's almost dark. Sometimes you go into a garden, and if you were fortunate to go to some of the beautiful areas on earth, you will see this. If you go to Kashmir, may Allah liberate it and give the Muslims their freedom. In Kashmir, they say it's the Jannah of Allah on earth because of the beauty of it. If you go to the Bosnia-Herzegovina, or to Croatia, Slovenia, these places have so much greenery that you think, Wallahi, this is beautiful, but if this is like this, how is Jannah? It is mind-blowing. How does it smell, by the way? Sometimes you go to countries and you find smell of horses, smell of oranges, depending on what's dominating. Well, the Prophet told us, alayhi salatu wasalam, that it has a fragrance that you will find and smell 40 years distance. 40 years. I haven't reached it. I still need to travel 40 years. And then all of this, you will find the smell. Some of the brothers have odor when they sweat. And in masjid, you're sitting with us, Ameen. Yeah, take a shower, take something, put deodorant, put a perfume. Some brothers have odor, not odor. It is horrible. In Jannah, there is nothing like that. Everything smells to the extent that the beauty of the hur al-ain, not the humans, not the human women, the hur al-ain, if one of their scarves fell into earth, it will fill the whole earth with perfume. La ilaha illallah. This is one hur. Then what about the scarf of the human? Because the humans are of a higher level because of what they had done. Hur, Allah created them. They didn't do anything. They were not tested. Human women were tested and they went into trials. So their reward is far greater than this. Do we have animals in Jannah? Yes or no? Those who say yes, raise your hands. Few. Those who say no, raise your hands. Even fewer. And those who do not know, welcome to the lecture. Yes, we do have animals in Jannah. The most common question I receive on my website, Sheikh, I have a cat and it died. Can I ask Allah to be with me in Jannah? I love it so much. I visit the grave once every week. What happens if her mother dies? Nothing. But the cat is different. So they ask, do we have animals? Yes, we have animals. But do we have our pets? Allahu Akbar. This luxury is something that not everyone can afford. We have horses. To do what, Sheikh? Men love horses by nature. Maybe they will be able to get something else to ride, but the Prophet was asked, do we have a horse, O Prophet of Allah? And the Prophet says, yes, if Allah admits you to Jannah, wherever you want to travel, Allah would immediately create a horse of red marble. How can a horse be from? It's alive. It's red. it's made of marble, and shaitan comes to your head. Oh, if it's made of marble, I will slip and fall and maybe break my leg. How am I going to... Don't think in the details. Why engage in the details? Believe. There will be a horse, yes. Made of red marble, yes. How will I ride on it? If you go to Jannah, you will know. Don't put so much thought into something you cannot even imagine. It will take you anywhere you wish. Are there camels? Yes, the Prophet told us there are big camels with nets that is so big. Sorry, there are birds that have necks like camels. Umar said, Wallahi, this is very nice. You have birds like camels? Camel meat is nice, but what about birds? It's even nicer. The Prophet said, eating it, alayhi salatu wasalam, is even nicer. So don't, rush things. Wait, and you will have it. The Prophet also told us that the sheep are among the animals found in Jannah. And we know that you will have fruit of your own choice. And you will have meat whenever you desire. What kind of meat? Don't go into details. Some of the books of tafsir says that whenever you see a bird, you look at it, you desire it, it falls in front of you, barbecued. One says, I'd like fried chicken. Don't go into details. Fried, grilled, boiled, raw. You will have this, but you have to believe in Allah Azza wa Jal. As for the trees that we spoke about, the trunks, you know the trunks of a tree is made of gold. And all the poor people like you and me think, okay, then I can have, like an axe and take the gold and take it back home and have a big bowl. You don't need money, you are there. I cannot comprehend this. Do we have bags? So can we take leftover of the food and give it to the... there is no poor. So can I put it in the fridge? There's no need for a fridge. This is Jannah. Don't compare it to your own life here.
Elaborate, creating a new narrative.